a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A-game to the table. Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Waiting for the opponent to make the first move. Goes for the throw. Checks with a projectile. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Plenty of time left. How's the match going to play out? They don't score the punish counter, but still get a nice hit in. Player one chases them down. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Nice KO! Player one sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Tries them open with a Shoryuken! Player one had an impressive round while managing their drive gauge. They'll want to carry that momentum into the next round. Goes hits them with a stop and bop. Both fighters planning something? Throws a projectile to zone the opponent. Big throws. Still scrapping for control of the space. Genius read with that throw escape. Burnout activates. Gets the quick dash short. The drive impact doesn't work. Side switch in the corner. Are we going to see a comeback? Hit that with confidence. With the solar plexus strike. Player two can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. Will this be enough to kill?
This is the path I have chosen.
This is a critical moment. Put the fear of God in us. Player one gets the win in a convincing fashion. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Brushes that off and keeps going. Player two creates a good corner opportunity. Huge opportunity here with no way to backdash out of danger. Player two has them legit shook in the corner. What are they thinking here? Opts for the throw. Steps in for the throw. Throws them to negate the block. Takes a trip. Absorbs the attack and fires back. Adds on a bit extra to that to make sure the opponent walks away with a full plate. All right, what's coming up next? Heading into the... burnout activates. Jinrai kick for a mix-up. Slips the grab. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Lets off a projectile to waste time. Denied. Feeling out the spacing. Player one is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Can they stick it out? They need to capitalize on this drive gauge. Closes with the throw. Hitting them with a smart stuff. Player two on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Bops them with a target combo. Player two did a great job of reading their opponent up close that last round. Can they keep the momentum? Max SA gauges, unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Meter management is going to be a huge factor. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. So, what's next? Projectile to try and change the situation. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Jumps? Goes for the jump in. You can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. Extra spicy Shoryuken X. That's a counter. Burnout activates. Ends the meter, hoping for a good return. Oh, no question whether this super art is going to kill or not. There it is! They knew it'd be enough. Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can kill themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done. Jumps in. Bops him with a target combo. Starts with a jump in. Okay, takes them all the way to the corner. Good job here in giving themselves a chance to gain the upper hand. Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Smart blow, that'll do more damage than usual. Player one in trouble with no drive. Okay, oh! Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Checking their reactions with a fireball? How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Throws them to negate the block. Good work staying in throw range there. Impact's a no-go. Very solid corner switch. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. A quick breather. Jumps up. Okay, they trade hits. They were expecting that drive impact. Uses the impact to shave off some of their drive gauge. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Their spacing is hit them with a stop and bomb. Solar plexus strike. Both fighters planning something? A real fireball at that range? Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to get down to it, so let's start the match and see what these warriors are capable of.
Let us begin. Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Checking their opponent. shoots off a projectile from downtown to check their approach, denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? They're not going to allow any jump-ins. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? That drive impact doesn't get through. You can block impacts, but you're going to lose some drive gauge when you do. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Oh, burnout on both sides? How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Checks them with a projectile. They break things off to take a quick breather. Combo with the target combo. Misses the drive, baits out the attack, and gets the punish challenge. Each hit is so important. Goes for the Shin Hashogun. Gets tagged by the fireball. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? The drive impact is denied. Absorbs the attack and fires back. Had the radar up and running. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Player 1, the super doesn't hit. Barely, burnout activates. Both of them have entered burnout state, which will drastically change their approach to the fight. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Shinku Hadouken. That's not gonna hit. Jumps in. Going in. Brings down the waning moon on him. Anti-air in the clutch. Denies the jumping attempt. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Star slashes him with a jackknife. It's time for both fighters to lay it off. Delivers the pain right to their doorstep. Cross-up attack. This is gonna hurt. Immediate impact squat. Excellent block to shut off the impact. Hits that with confidence. Gut punch spreads them. Okay, here we go. What excellent block. What are they gonna do? What's next? A jump, solid anti-air. Somehow manages to block the and whiffs. They're wide open. Player turns out. Close range projectile. Pokes with the kick. Player 2 is in a very good spot. What a finish. Player 2 comes out on top of that fierce.
a new challenger.
This is gonna be a 5-star match. Get ready for history to be made.
Let us begin. Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Gets a good read on their opponent. That should teach him you can't just throw out moves. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. All right. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Decides to spend the meter to open up some more chances. Player 2 chases them down. Checks them with a projectile, reads their mind and techs the throw. Misses the drive impact. They can't keep track of these corner switches. Goes for the super arm? This is a gigantic life lead. How are they going to deal with this? Combo with the target combo. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Player 2 holding on to that corner advantage. Still scrapping for control of the space. Showing some real tenacity. Got him up against the wall and the stun is there. Player 1, he comes from behind to pick up the win. They took advantage of every chance. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Heats it up with a combo into super. Player 1 has the life lead. Can they use it? Connects with medium kick. Opts for the free flow kick drive punch to keep it going. Closes the distance. Player 2 will have to deal with brushes that off and keeps going. Experiencing burnout. Both Shingu Hadouken. Going in. Looking for a chance. Jumps. Barely blocks the jump in. Are we gonna see a comeback here? Swagger step. Charges up the plasma. Excellent read. Player 1 can't afford mistakes without that drive. Closing moments of the match. Cashes out the cage right there.
This is our destiny.
This is gonna kill. No doubt about it.
Gets got.
What a finish. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Blocks it. That drive impact is blocked. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Drive impact is blocked, but takes a bite out of the drive gauge to apply some pressure. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? Player 1 has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. No good up high. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. They need to hold out. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Big trouble here. The stun is going to leave them defenseless. The drive gauge will be full when they snap out of it. Now's the time to capitalize. Strings it all together. Heading into the end game now. KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Goes for the jump in to start the round. Opts for the free flow kicks to get a drink in. Nails the anti-air. Brushes that off and keeps going. Overgoes for the Shin Hashogeki. Looking to impress with this super. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. So, what's next? Tries to bait out a reaction to a fireball. Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. They continue to battle it out in the middle of the stage. Opt for the free flow kicks to get a drink in. Knockdown and springs forward with the drive rush. They must have a game plan here with the critical art on deck, but executing that plan is the key. Hold your breath. Noticeable life lead. All in with a rush. Jump. Back comes the brakes on the impact. Reads the jump in perfectly. Player one wants to see how to what a finish! We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Rushes down the opponent to impose their will. Crowns them from above. Boots them and takes a swing. And whips. They're wide open. Handle with care. You can't stop driving, Max. The machine has Shogun needs to push forward. Oh, they've been waiting for this. Left sets up with the jump in. Player two drops that off. Target combo into. Will this super art do anything? Excellent read. Charges up the plasma. Okay, here we go. They're in range. We gotta see excellent block. Medium, they were ready to pounce on that impact. I can't believe it. Rushes in. Player all in with a rush. Here comes the... They are done. Player two was definitely sweaty.
a new challenger.
They're all fired up. We're almost underway.
Gotta do this. Come on. This will be a good fight. Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Perfect air-to-air. Almost had it, but it gets blocked. Blocks the impact, but they're still pushed back. Maintains composure and pushes out of the corner. There's a wall splat, which leaves them wide open. All right, player 2 has been really leaning on that drive gauge. If the drive gauge is completely empty, the player will enter burnout and won't be able to use drive for a period of time, so it's vital to not let that happen. Player 2 can't let their drive gauge in. They need to find a way to reset the situation. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? Misses the drive impact. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player 2 chases them down. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. Projectile to try and change the situation. That drive impact doesn't get through. Taking stock. Picks up the win with the projectile. Good read. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. A brave forward jump there to start. They both showed their hand a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Throws them to negate the block. That throw will do some good damage. Player 2 will look to a... Oh, what's this? Digs in deep to get that drive. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. A super art? Yeah, that's not gonna hit. Player 2, there's a wall spot. They can't do anything now. Player connects with the throw. Will this super art do anything? This is gonna kill, no doubt about it. Did not miss that chance and takes the round. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Nails the anti-air. Checks him with the projectile. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Absorbs the attack and fires back. Player 2 has them legit shook in the corner. They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Brushes off the impact. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. All right, what's coming up next? Sees it coming, goes for the super art. The super doesn't hit. Changes the pace with an air-to-air. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. KO! Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Starting off with fireballs right from the get-go. Throws them to negate the block. They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Good distance for a shot. The throw misses. Blocks it. Oh, what's this? The punish counter gives them a great opening here to do big damage. A quick breather. No knockdown as the low heavy is blocked. Breaks the block with a throw. That throw will do some good damage. Roughing up the body. Going in. Experiencing burnout. Oh, critical. What's gonna happen? Yo, we're dealing with a real gambler. Low on life and is still willing to risk it all on this critical art to deal the cash money damage they need. Knockdown and... You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Player 2 has depleted their driving. Oh my god, they just choked it up! Shakes things up with a fireball. Closing moments of the match. One hit's gonna do it. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Reads the jump-in perfectly. They don't have any leeway to make a mistake. Gotta do better than that. They both decide to ease the tension and back off. Both of them back off. They maybe... Oh, kisses the fireball! Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Rushes down the opponent to impose their will. And whips. They're wide open. Drops that off. This is gonna be bad news. With the solar plexus strike. Yes, sir. More damage. Please do it to them. Show the people what they came to see, Ryu.
What's wrong? Get up!
Player 2 is in a very good spot now. It tries to act quickly, but whiffs the attack. Amazing! How did they read that throw? Nice fireball. And whiff! They're wide open. All the throw connects. This can lead to some big damage. Getting up, they couldn't take it. Player 2 is a force to be reckoned with.
A new challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Round 1.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Tries to bait him with the projectile. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Was well in range to score the throw. Opts for the throw. What are they thinking here? This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Goes air to air to deny them a chance. They're on the lookout for jump-ins. Gets a chance with that jump-in. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. Escapes the corner to reset the situation. Decides to spend the meter to open up some more chances. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Okay, creating some space here. Life lead opens up. The punish counter gives them a great opening here to do big. Wraps it up with a decisive combo. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Goes for the rush down to start. They're on a mission. Jumps. Gets the jump in. You can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Super art on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Digs in deep to get that drive in there. Smart play with the throw. This is a turning point. They gotta turn it around. KO. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Throws a fireball. Drops that off. Gut punch treasure. Yes, sir. More damage, please. Uh-oh. This could really tip the scales.
What's wrong? Get up!
One whip drops them. Player 1 has a big drive gauge lead. Ooh, what a smart throw. Player 1 gotta do better than that. Sets up with the jump in. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Pumps the brakes on the impact. Impact squash. How did they read that throw? The jump in throw is denied. What a read. Keeps them out. What are they gonna do? Somehow manages to block the jump in. Medium kick. A whip clutch as I flatlines on. Player 1 really had to fight for that one. No shortage of drama. We're finally ready to begin this long-awaited fight. Our players look primed and ready. impact's a no-go. Forcefully closes the gap. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. Player one creates a good corner opportunity. The throw misses. They're jostling for the dominant position in the KO. Player one picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Slips the grab. That tech's what you get when both sides go in on the throw. Impact's a no-go. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. They gotta make sure not to splurge with that drive gauge and leave them till this is gonna be bad news. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Jump? The life remaining tells us we're halfway through this match. What's going to happen here in the latter half of this round? Player springs forward with the drive rush. Uses the gauge for a super art. Didn't hesitate going for the kill with that super.
My magnum opus!
There it is. They knew it'd be enough. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Comes a new challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Let us begin.
Time to erase you.
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Tries to turn up the pressure with overdrive projectiles. Okay, takes them all the way to the corner. Takes a trip. Player one is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Perfect execution and gameplay nets our fighter a perfect round. Player one picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Steps back to start things off. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. They're still feeling each other out. There's space to make something happen here, and neither fighter looks willing to back down. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? There's the impact! not letting that go unpunished. Player 1 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation. Hits them with a stopping block. Roughing up the box. Ah, Burnout activates. Jumps in. King 2 Hadouken. Sets up with the jump in. They trade hits. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Manages to block the jump in attack. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start. What's this King 2 Hadouken gonna do? Looking for a hole. One chance here may end. Makes a solid read with entrapment. This is a critical moment. Puts the fear of God in it. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Let us begin. Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Saw that low heavy coming.
My turn.
Utilizes an overdrive art there to tack on just a little more damage. Was that a good decision? Plenty of space between the two fighters, but who will decide to close the gap? The low heavy hits. Uses a long range attack there to zone them perfectly. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Great work finding the opening. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Life lead open, experiencing burnout. Somehow pushes back all the way. King 2 Hadouken! That's not gonna hit. Throws him. What's next? Smart decision there. The chip damage was enough. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Player 2 did a great job of reading their opponent up close that last round. Can they keep the momentum? Jumps up, reads their mind and techs the throw. Reads the throw and shuts it down. Looking for a chance. Oh, what's this? Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Super art on experiencing burnout. Looking to impress with this super. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Big, Mew, rip-off. Knockout and both fighters are out of drive. Throws them. They just won't stop switching soft draw. Super art incoming. This is gonna kill, no doubt about it. Put them on a t-shirt with that finish.
How'd I lose?
Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Adds a bit of OD spice. Impact counter. Oh, that's so sick. Uses their drive to maximize their damage. There's a burnout. Throws them. Oh, here we go. Player 2 is looking at a grim situation. This is gonna hurt. Ooh, what a smart throw. What now? Shrugs that off. Solar plexus strike. Amazing. Closes it out. was an absolute beast in that match. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Jumps, the throw down to the wire. Good heads-up decision, opting for the drive impact. Burns the drive gauge. Now they get pushed into the corner, where it's going to be very difficult to escape. Buy some time by driving them into the corner, and now they can create some big chances to do damage here. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the table. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover, or are they in trouble here? Had the radar up and running. Knockdown. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Shinku Hadouken! The super doesn't hit! Player 1 creates a good KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Down to the wire. Lands a punish counter for the first hit. Roughing up the body. Throws a fireball. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Smart play with the throw.
Pay attention.
Closes with the throw. Hitting him with the smart stuff. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches.
Comes a new challenger.
They're all fired up. We're almost underway.
Gotta do this. Come on. This will be a good fight. Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Checking their opponent. Stands firm and blocks the drive impact. Blocks the impact, but they're still pushed back. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. Knockdown. Uh-oh. Falls short. Looping the drive impact opens a huge window to get punished. Sticks the combo. Decent damage. What's next? The drive impact nets them a sweet punish counter. All right. Fireball from very long range. What's next? Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge? Will this super art connect? Both of them have entered burnout state, which will drastically change their approach to the fight. Player one chases them down. Very solid corner switch. Knockdown. KO! Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Smart play with the throw. Checks with a medium kick. Hits him with a stopping block. Hits him in the gut. A quick breather. Jumps in. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Player two can build off this lead. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. They can't squander this punish counter chance. Player two has an empty drive gauge, brushes that off and keeps going. Player one needs to use the threat of the corner. Draw critical. What's gonna happen? Gets the critical line. Even when the chips are down, they're still looking for a play to take this fight. Now they gotta think of a follow-up. Player two has depleted their drive gauge, but they are still huge chance after that wall splat. Goes and whiffs. They're wide open. Barely blocks the excellent block. They back down to regroup. This may be the final push. Cast them on the zone. Flatline zone. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight!
Starts things off with a sets up with the jump in. Connects with medium kick. Scrapping. Ooh, does them dirty. Excellent jump in. Drops them. Shoots their shot. There's a drive impact. More fuel to the fire. Cook them up. Come on now, let me hear you say it. Shinryu. Repa. Both up floods that off. Charges up the platform. Shakes things up with a fireball. What are they gonna do? Impact squash. Goes to the air. Grab them. Okay, here we go. Big drive burns out. Put them on notice. Player one really had to fight for that one. No shortage of drama.
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Let us round one. Fight!
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. They're not going to allow any jump-ins. Player two pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. The drive impact nets them a sweet punish counter. Punish is there with the drive impact, really laying on the pressure. Holds out with the block. Player one has used up all of their drive gauge. Throws them to negate the block, not having the cross-up. Player two chases them down. Knockdown. This is a huge chance to make them feel it. Okay, they trade hits. Shinku Hadouken! The super doesn't hit! Player two can't use any more drive without burning. Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. They need to rely on their instincts here. Burns a bar to unleash the storm. Sakai Fuhazan, KO! Player two takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Hits them with a stopping block. Lands a punish counter for the first hit. There's an overdrive Shoryu. Shoots off a fireball up close. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Player one is in burnout. Drives off the table. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Player one will look to apply pressure here. How will they utilize this? The stun's got both sides thinking about what's next. Both fighters are feng shui engine activation. They want to end this quick. Hits them with a stopping block. Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Risky up-close scrap baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Turns out! Side hustle! Player 2 is in a very good spot. Wrecks them! Sun, city, population, you! Player 1, there's a burnout! Oh! Putting the back combo finishes it!
Enjoy the trip!
Player 2 gets the win in a convincing fashion. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Throws out a projectile. Trying to control their opponent's gear from a distance. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? All right. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're going to eat tons of damage. Player 2 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Forward throw, not letting them out of the corner. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. The super armor does its job. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. How will they take advantage of everything that's good heads-up decision, opting for the drive impact. Solid combo. Just out of range for that throw. A quick breather, turns it up a notch and sends them to the corner. They've got nowhere to run now that they're in the corner. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. So hits them with the stopping block. Oh, what's this? Were they baiting them into that? How are they experiencing burnout? Barely blocks the... Oh my, the throw tech! Sets up with the jump in! Our fighters are at a standstill. What's the play here? Play nothing stops this train! Drive it back misses! This is gonna kill, no doubt about it!
Such a lovely place.
What a finish! Player 2 brings it.
Here comes a new challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Let us begin.
Don't expect me to be a pushover.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Tries to bait him with the projectile. Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Are they trying to bait out the jump? It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? That was a solid anti-air. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Player 2 with the life lead. They've got a small life lead, but it's not over. Both players have near empty super art gauges. Whoever can build theirs up first may have a big advantage here. Knockdown. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Does a good job of pushing back. Okay, creating some space here. Holds out with the block. Anything could happen here. With the life gap opening up, they need to lean hard on their drive usage. Taking stock. Feeling out the spacing. Throws out a projectile. KO! Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jump in. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Had the radar up and running. Still very early in the round. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Throws a fireball. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. This is the ideal range to utilize the fireball game. Good distance for a shot. Whiffs with that huge attack. Gets the back throw to turn things around. Risky up, drops them hard. And whiffs, they're wide open. Zones with the fireball. Oh, could be the start of something. Goes for the fireball, which is very strong at this range. Clip goes to the air. The drive impact doesn't work. Fights out of the corner, back to the center of the stage. That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Wow, critical. What's gonna happen? Finishes with the throw. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Rushing attack to start. That's a nice way to get someone's attention. Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Are they trying to bait out the jump? Decides to go in with the target combo. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Player 2 with the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Who's it gonna be? The impact gets blocked. Super meter is looking bare right now. Will they try to hang back to stock up or continue fighting? Gaining some meter would open up the opportunity to deal huge damage, but that's easier said than done. Player 2 chases them down. Very solid corner switch. Can't tech the throw? What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Digs in deep to get that drive. This Shin Hashogaki is gonna see KO! Player 1 with the first strike, but they can't get complacent.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jump in. Sure you can? That drive impact is blocked. Gets scooped from down low. Smart stuff, poking at that range to zone the opponent. Denies the jump in. Barely blocks the jump in. Oh, what's this? Digs in deep to get that drive in. Both fighters planning something? Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Hits them with a stopping bomb. Ah, burnout activates. What'll happen here? The low! The throw is denied! How did they anticipate that jump in? Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Open, this is gonna hurt. Final round. They were right to be on guard there. Going in. Barely blocks the jump in. Throws them. What's next? Player 2 with a lead. Will they go for offense? Connects with the throw. A jump? Nothing stops this train. There's a drive impact. Quick dash. Not looking good. The corner's a bad place to be. Excellent block. Presses for a reaction with a fireball. All the throw connects. Looking for a hold. A real test of nerves here. Can they use their drive to stage a comeback? Hits that with confidence. Gut punch. Put the exclamation point on that with an sense of a personalized telegram with that frightening critical. Can they muster up the nerves to fight back and take this round? Player wrecks them. Are you serious? That comeback was unreal. We just saw the fighters play out of their goddamn mind there. Player 1 reaches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that. Uses their drive gauge. Manages to block the jump-in attack. Blocking a jump-in attack means you're at a disadvantage, so they should be looking to anti-air instead. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner, trips them up. Both sides have full drive and plenty of health. Let's see how things open up. Will they use their drive to break through or to turn up the heat? They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner, throwing on even more pressure with the fireballs. Time to do some damage after that wall splash. Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Gets backed into the corner with pressure building. This is a huge chance to make him feel it. The throw misses. Knockdown. Hits him with a stopping block. One combo. This Shin Hashogaki is gonna sneak in there. Player one takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Brushes off the impact. Shoryuken? Going in? Player two is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. They back the opponent. Burnout activates. What'll happen here? Jump? Perfect KO. They were in full control there. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Zones with the fireball. Barely blocks the jump in. Both shoots their shot. They go on the attack at the same time and cancel each other out. Ooh, what a smart throw. Takes advantage of the hesitation and gets some good damage in return. Player one is in a very good spot now. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Wow, sat and waited for this opening. Hits that with confidence. These guys are not giving each... Oh, putting the cherry on top. Nothing stops this train. What's this Jinju Hado gonna do? What's next? They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? Gotta do better than that. Jumps! Close range projectile. Ooh, crushes the shins. This is a critical moment. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Fights back with authority. Awesome! Player one clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have played.
Comes a new challenger.
It's a mirror match. There's gonna be a lot of pride on the line for this one.
Round one. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Checks with the projectile. Backs them into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Good anti-air. Wow. Shut down. Player one has them legit shook in the corner. All right, what's coming up next? Gets the jump in. Knockdown. The super armor does its job. Overdrive Hashogaki for more damage. Neither of them willing to back off here. Player one in trouble with no drive. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they're experiencing burnout. Jinju Hadouken! That's not gonna hit. They need to rely on their instincts here. Either they're going for the super art. KO! Player two with a big first round pickup. Can they close it out? Immediate jump in. Who's going to start things off? Projectile to try and change the situation. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Player two will want to... There's an overdrive Shoryu. Scrapping it out up close. Pokes with a medium kick. Gets the jump in. You can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Blocks the impact. Excellent block to shut out the impact. Player two is in a pretty good experiencing burnout. Brushes that off and keeps going. Burnout activates. The life remaining tells us we're halfway through this match. Their spacing is so on point right now, but who's gonna blink first? They're both driveless. This is gonna get messy. Close range projectile. We're at a standstill. Going on the offensive? Sees the overhead coming. Solid anti-air. This is a critical moment. Excellent block. Who will set the bait at this range? Goes for the fireball, which is very strong, and the drive impact doesn't work. Turns out. What now? Player 2 can't use any drive. Uses their drive gauge. They don't have any leeway to make a mistake. Someone's got him, and what a finish! Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Final round. Fight!
Who's going to steal this win? Player 1 took that round comfortably. No need to bring out the big guns yet. With the solar plexus strike. Spends it all on the super. Not shy one bit about it.
What's wrong? Get up!
Can they make them? Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player 2, all the throw connects. Player 1 needs to wait this out. Getting up close and meets them air-to-air. Cross out the OD. Nothing stops this train. Gut punch transfer. Okay, here we go. Player 2 makes there's a burnout. What are they gonna do? A single hit will do it. Player charges up. What a finish! Player 1 showed they are truly the best of the best. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Throws a fireball. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Are they trying to beat out the jump? Player 1 pushes the opponent down to the wire. Player 1 needs to deal with this burnout. What are they thinking here? Player 1 has used up all of their drive gauge. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue the fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with some KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Oh, says no to the impact. Excellent block to shut out the impact. That combo did decent damage. Jumps. Breaks the block with a throw. Not much life left, but their drive usage may save them. Denies the jump in. Oh, they're in the corner now. What? Anti-air. Hold your breath. The projectile connects, not giving the opponent any chances. Player 2 proved to be the victor in that mirror match. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Checks him with the projectile. Good parry here to try and make something happen. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. What's the play here? Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. The counter is blocked. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. The comeback's gonna be tough now. Can they do it? Shoots off a fireball up close. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is the KO. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Parries to cancel the fireball. It's not easy to parry projectiles in the heat of a match, but it's definitely effective. Hits them with a stop and block. Player 2, this Shin Hashogeki is gonna sting. Going in? Player 2 is working with a better gauge. What can they do with it? With this kind of gauge gap, they'll want to think about when to use it and not be trigger happy. Ooh, there's a side switch. This could be big. Player 2 will need to play it experiencing burnout. The path to a win looks very tough here, and I don't know if they can hold out. Time to reassess the situation? Okay, here we go. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Not much movement, but the thing going on the offensive? Player 2, the drive impact doesn't work. Gotta do better than that. Life lead is there, but still anyone's game. Looking for a hole. So, what's next? They're using a fireball to force a reaction. Any mistake here is gonna be pumps the brakes on the impact. They don't have any leeway to make a mistake. Knock them out of the air. Wall splat into the guard break. Low heavy. Player 2 is in a very good spot. Turns the projectile hits. Fantastic positioning on show during that round.
Fight round. Fight.
Opens with a fireball. Who's going to steal this win? Player 1 comes back from the brink. Can they keep this focus? Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Player 2 is looking at a throw zone. How long can this offensive assault continue? Player 1 is in a very good spot now. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Both fighters drive. Genius read with that throw escape. Presses for a reaction with a fireball. They're taking a step back to slow down throw tech. Player 1 is in burnout state, a very precarious situation. This is where, sniped. This is gonna hurt. What's next? It is over. Player 2 survived that tense mirror match.
Comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight. Round 1. Fight.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Checks with the projectile. We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Opts for the throw. Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. What are they thinking here? Their drive gauge was running low, but they use an overdrive art anyway just to show they're not gunshot. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Opts for the throw to close it out. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Combo with the target combo. Attempts to break the stalemate with the fireball. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Gotta be careful not to whiff at this range. What'll happen here? Hits them with a stop and bomb. Player 2 will looking to impress with this super. Yo, are they actually dead? And it's just enough. Solid read on the bars. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Starting off with fireballs right from the get-go. Blocks it. Player 2 closed out the last round with a super. They spent that cash, but will it come back to bite them? What's next? The drive impact doesn't work. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. What are they gonna do? Change things up with a fireball. Impact counter! Oh, that's so sick. Puts a bit of stank on that. This is gonna hurt. Vintage, more fuel to the fire. Cook them up. Sit them down with a super. Player one gets the win in a convincing fashion. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Zones with the fireball. Jumps. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Lays on the pressure with the projectile. Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Player two is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. The impact gets blocked. Player two in that dangerous burnout state. Can't tech the throw? They're jostling for the dominant position in the corner. Takes a trip. Life lead opens up. Nice tech. Tries to keep the pressure on the KO. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Goes with the projectile for their opening shot. Checks them with the projectile. Flushes that off and keeps going. Digs in deep to get that driving. Amazing concentration on display as they punish when their opponent's attack left them wide open. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. Player two will need to play it conservative, experiencing burnout. Rattles them with a uses the gauge for a super art. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean. Perfect KO. They were in full control there. Player one took note.
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Let us round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Opts for the throw. Checks with the projectile. It's the start of the round. How will they start their approach? Throws them down. Knockdown. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? Very nice anti-air there. They read their opponent like a book. Consistent anti-air is huge because shutting down the air game will let you dictate the pace of the match much easier. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? That slight doubt is all it took. Player two on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Misses the drive impact. Combo with the target combo. Jumps up, breaks the block with a throw. That throw will do some good damage. Their spacing is so hits them with a stop and pop. Ooh, those buffed up throws are really hitting hard now. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Player one needs to use the front of the corner here. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Shin a Shogeki. This could be make or break. Turns out, player one can't use any, closes it out. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Swan Lake is on fire now. Look at the damage. Close range projectile. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Nothing stops this train. Punish counter sets the table. Duranga say hit. Sends them tumbling. There's a burnout. Drops them hard. Throws them. Strong super art incoming. This might be a pivotal super art. Can they make the most of this? Danger gotta do better than that. Rushes in. Charges up the plasma. Ugh, take a seat. Throws. Here comes the corner pressure. Answers with a they are done. Player two was definitely sweaty during that well-earned win! Open with the fireball! Transverse, the hit throw connects. There's the wall sprout. They can't do anything now. Their worst fear in the corner taking form. Player 2 chases them down. Huge opportunity here with no way to backdash out of danger. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Takes a trip. Squeezes the gauge. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Throws them to negate the block. Digs in deep to get that drive impact. Burnout activates. KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Reads them. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 2, blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Forcing them to block the drive impact near the corner is a very smart play on their part. Ends the meter, hoping for a good return. Uses the game for the super. They're not playing around here. They must have a game plan here with a critical art on deck, but executing that plan is the key. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. KO! Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Oh, says no to the impact. Grabs and throws him away. Barely blocks the jump in. Throw is the impact counter! Oh, that's so sick! Get ready to be thrown to the sun! What now? Shoots their shot! Shrugs that off! Player Swan Lake is on fire now! Look at the damage! Player 2! Perfect execution with the anti-air. What's next? Noticeable life leak. The overhead denied. Oh, the throw connects. A train, but oh my god, they just choked it up! Oh my god, Ross Super! With the solar plexus strike! Perfect damage calculation, no doubt about it! It's over! Player 1 has gotta be feeling good getting the win out of that absolute carnage! They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. That's gonna leave them rattled. Safely increases their throw level. Projectile to try and change the situation. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Not shy with the grab. What's their game plan here at this critical stage? This is a tough spot. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Impact's a no-go. Taking stock. We're near the big play does it. Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. Goes for the jump into lands a punish counter for the first hit. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Player 2 hits them with a stopping bop. Roughing up the body. This is a turning point. They gotta turn it around. Gutsy play with the grab. No escaping that. That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances.
comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Almost had it, but it gets blocked. Drive impact is blocked, but takes a bite out of the drive gauge to apply some pressure. Player one has them legit shook in the corner. Lots of aggression from both sides. Player two with the life lead. Time to sit on the lead. Oh! Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. From up above, throws them to negate the block. Gets them. Player two sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Round two. Fight.
Checking their reaction to the fireball? Checks them with the boom. Sees it coming and blocks it out. You can block impacts, but you're gonna lose some drive gauge when you do. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. They're waiting for the opportunity to bust this match wide open. Fireball from very long range. What's next here? Fires without warning. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. Experiencing burnout. Player two will have hit them with a stopping block. Hits them in the gut. Bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Sets it up. Goes for the Shin Shoryuken. We're willing to go all in here.
What's wrong? Get up.
Player two needs the knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. All the throw connects. Player two can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. What are they gonna do? Chuck the fireball to continue that. Can this drive bring them back? Ah, burnout activates. Any mistake here is gonna be fatal. What flatlines though? Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Comes a new challenger.
And see what these warriors are capable of.
Let us begin. Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Denies that throw attempt. Brushes off the throw. Uses the target combo to take a chunk of damage off the opponent. Player two pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Player one needs to deal with this burnout. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. There's an overdrive Shoryu. Neither of them willing to back off here. Blocks the ambiguous crossover. Closes with the throw, hitting him with the smart stuff. Player one picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Attempts to break the stalemate with a fireball. Impacts a no-go. Forcefully closes the gap. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. Scrapping it out up close. Big count eats it up with a combo into super. They quickly get back into the corner of the stage. A quick breather. Player one can't use any drive moves without burning out. We have a super art on deck. Expect to see way more pressure here. Going in, uses the fireball to try and get a reaction. Fires without warning. Our fighters are at a standstill. What's the play here? Being hit them with a stop and bop. There's a drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. The big flex. The broken jaw. Shoryuken!
What's wrong? Get up!
Player 1 flipping the script. Oh my god, what a throw tech. Player 1 can't use any drive moves. Gotta pick all the throw connects. Can they use their resources wisely to pick up the win here? Excellent block. Sets up with the jump in. A daring impact to wrap up the round. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Manages to block the jump in attack. Holds out with the block. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Plenty of time left. How's the match gonna play out? Player 1 with the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? The super armor does its job. Neither of them are willing to back off here. Oh, easy tech. Reads the throw and shuts it down. Goes for the fireball. Does a good job of pushing back. It's not over. Adds a little super juice into this combo for more damage. I can't keep track of these corner switches. KO. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Player 2 has the meter lead. With this kind of gauge gap, they'll want to think about when to use it and not be trigger happy. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Player 1 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Do they have enough drive gauge? Drive gauge is almost empty. They gotta be careful. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Blocks the impact. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. We're experiencing burnout. Looking to impress with this super. Spin drive smasher time. Player 2 is dominating this match. You've gotta be in there. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Attempts to break the stalemate with the fireball. Let's see how these two try to set the tone of the match. Which fighter will control the pace of the match early on? Both fighters need to find a way to utilize their drive. Both fighters will have to decide whether they want to go with an all-out offense powered by their drive or play it safe and conservative. With super arson, putting the cherry on top. They should have kept this one classified because it's straight up nasty. Delta red assault. Make smart use of the drive impact doesn't work. They freeze the throw and escapes. Knuckle wakes them up. Are we gonna see a comeback here? This is so genius read with that throw escape. Excellent block. Catches them out. Oh, here we go. They gotta go. They are not getting close. Rushes in.